Well, good morning and welcome back to Cityline. With me on the couch, two incredible women who are here to talk about Hilltop Artists' annual luncheon that you don't want to miss. So please join me in welcoming back Katie Evans. Hello, my dear.
Hello.
Ah, it's so great to see you in person.
You know, I love any opportunity to spend time with you.
It's true. I mean, whenever I see you, I scream and I have to have a hug. And you are the deputy director at Hilltop Artists, and it's so great to have you here.
Yeah.
You brought with you an alumni, somebody who has done great things with Hilltop Artists. We're talking about Mackenzie Howe. Mackenzie, you are an artist and an alumni of Hilltop Artists, and you are also a paraeducator in the Puyallup School District. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you here. All right, let's get this going here. So, Katie, let's talk about, this is the first Better Futures lunch at the Hotel Murano since before the pandemic.
Yes.
Which, gosh, when you think about that, for two and a half, sometimes even 3 years, we didn't get together. How are the preparations going for this?
So this is my first big official kind of formal fundraiser with Hilltop Artists since we were doing all of our we did a lot of experiments throughout the pandemic,
Right.
and they went really well. So we have an incredible community that is here to support us, and they're showing up again for the luncheon. I shouldn't be surprised, but I was really pleasantly surprised at how enthusiastic our folks are to come back, to be with us, to be in community, to hear from our students and our artists. And I'm just so excited. Like, everyone was like, yeah, I'll be there. And so, yes, tickets are going very fast. So if you want to come join us and see some really amazing artwork and hear some really beautiful stories, got to get your tickets now.
And we're showing that website across the bottom of the screen here so people can log on and get that ticket. What does this event mean to Hilltop Artists? I mean, you know, now that we are starting to come out of the pandemic, there are many organizations who are in the position that Hilltop is in terms of, we're back, we're having an in-person event. What does this mean exactly? What does it do for Hilltop?
One of the things that I often forget is I get to work in Hilltop Heritage Middle School. I see hundreds of kids every day. I see our production students and our after-school kids, and I forget that nobody else gets that experience.
Right.
We're not a public arts organization, and so this is our opportunity to really open those doors wide, welcome everybody in, and share the incredible work that our kids do with everybody. And it's the most exciting time to be able to actually see everybody who can say, I love Hilltop Artists. Give me all the pumpkins.
That's right. Give me all the pumpkins.
Tell me the incredible stories.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, Hilltop Artists also monkey shines. I mean, it's everywhere. So speaking of that, what can people expect at this luncheon?
Well, Mackenzie is going to be one of our student speakers this year. She's going to share her story, as well as another one of our alumni, Sean. And we have an incredible keynote speaker. We haven't made the official announcement yet, but one of our dear friends, Nate Watson, is going to be there. He is an artist who, until very recently, was the executive director of Public Glass, which is a studio down in San Francisco. Ooh. He is coming up to UW, and he's going to be teaching there for the next year. So we were like, oh, Nate's in town.
Wow, that's great.
Nate got to work with our students this spring at Pilchuck Glass School and also during the Glass Arts Society conference in Tacoma. And so he knows a bunch of our kids. It's going to be really cool.
I love that.
So we'll hear from Nate, and you're going to be there.
I'm going to be there, just kind of sewing the pieces together.
Just around.
Just keeping the narrative going. Yeah. That's right. And also, spying the centerpieces, because the centerpieces are the big attraction. Yeah. Well, one of the big attractions for the guests. So what's the process like to create this year's featured sculptures?
You want to take this, Mackenzie?
You want to take it, Miss Mackenzie?
Well, I actually played a part in this.
Yeah, you did.
It's the first year that we've had flame workers and glass blowers collaborate on centerpieces. And so I would start with the beginning process, and I would make millefiori, which are these little marinis chopped up flower pieces in the center. And I would create them on the torch with glass from the hot shop that's been pulled, and then they would roll it up onto some hot glass and blow it into a vase.
Yeah.
And see, the fact that I'm sitting here thinking, and we know these terms because Hilltop is everywhere. So now, I mean, Tacoma speaks glass.
Yeah.
We know glass. So Mackenzie, what we don't know is how long were you involved in Hilltop Artists, and what were some of your favorite experiences while you were there?
I've been involved with Hilltop Artists for around 5 or 6 years, and I've started production like 5 years ago. One of my favorite memories was going up to Pilchuck, and
Yes.
we only recently got that started again. I'm headed up there again today. Every time I go up, best experience. I meet tons of new artists, learn everything new, and it's awesome.
I love that. So, Mackenzie, you're going to be speaking at the Better Futures Luncheon. Have you been getting ready? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Have you been memorizing your script? Tell us about this.
Yeah, so I've been working on my speech for a few weeks, and I'll be preparing by practicing my speech with possibly some middle school audiences
There we
and
go.
production audience. And I'm nervous and excited for the luncheon, obviously, but
You are going to be, look what you're doing right here. You are going to be so fabulous, because if you can do this, you can do that in front of me. You're in front of lots of people right now and you just don't know it. And you are a natural at this. Mackenzie, sometimes I think that when young people look at glass, or they watch, like for instance, the Netflix Blown Away series, they think, I could never do that. It's too hard, there's too much math, there's too much measurement. What do you say when somebody throws those reasons for the reasons why they don't blow glass?
for the reasons why, or why they feel like they can't.
Why they feel like they can't?
Well, that's a really hard question. I think that anyone can start anything at any
Yes.
time. Like, it's never too late, and you should always, if you feel like you want to do something, like, oh, I want to go kayaking, but it sounds so hard, just do it. You got to just start trying. You can try little things at a time, build up, and yeah.
What has blowing glass taught you?
Oh my gosh, it's taught me a lot. I was this quiet, shy girl, and then I became confident, and I had to learn to stand up for myself and speak louder, and it's also taught me to think out of the box, and
Yeah.
just everything. It's my everything, glass blowing.
Oh my gosh, that needs to be a T-shirt. It's my everything,
Yes. ...
glass blowing. And then your initials below it. That is incredible. You know, I'm familiar with Hilltop in the sense of the teamwork and the camaraderie that happens there. Because many times, it's not glass blowing we're teaching, is it, Katie?
Nah.
What are we teaching?
What I like to think about it as is collaborative leadership. Because they have to work together, otherwise everything falls apart.
Yes.
And you can't be cruel to each other when you're doing that, because then it's not going to be true art.
Right.
And so what they really have to do is learn to communicate, learn to fail together, which is huge.
Wow.
And when we talked to our artists about, like, well, how did you feel when that piece broke? And they were like, oh, well, we learned why that happened, and we're going to do it again, and we're not going to do that part that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even no one's crushed. They're like, oh, that's interesting that I learned that from that. Let's do this now.
Okay, so tell me what we're seeing here.
Who do we got? Well, we've got, this looks like the daytime classes too. So these are some of our youngest students, and this is the Hot Shop at Hilltop Heritage. There's some flame workers. That's the kind of work that Mackenzie is a specialist in. And this is really, this is what the shop looks like every day, only right now, quite a few more kids.
Yes. Was this like maybe a summer or something like that?
Yeah, this looks like it was a little bit ago, but yeah, it's been so rewarding and really beautiful to have all of our students back in the shop these days. And there's Jason, our daytime instructor, working with some students. But yeah, we've got full classrooms, and the kids are, what are we at, third week of school now?
Yes.
Just starting to figure it out. And it's been really cool to see some of the kids that were in our daytime classes last year, and they're back for their second year. And
oh, and look at this.
getting in the after-school program. Yeah, we have our gallery on site at Hilltop Artists at the Hilltop Heritage Hot Shop, and we do each month we have an open gallery, so you can come and shop.
And I'm going to do a little plug here in this last 40 seconds also for the Christmas ornament sale that wraps around the building.
Yes, the winter glass sale is coming. We always do it the first Saturday of December, so I think it's the second or third this year. And we're also going to be part of Tacoma Arts Month, so we will have open studio tour on October 15th. You can come visit the shop.
I love that.
Yeah.
Many, many, many hugs of gratitude to you and your team for the work that you are doing right now to lift this, I guess, luncheon up and to make it a better future for Hilltop, because we're all a little rusty right now. So it's great to get out there and stretch and put this event on. And of course, I will see you there on the stage.
I hope
Thank
everyone
you
comes.
both
We'll see
so
you.
very much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. When we come back after just a little bit more musical chairs, we will have the South End Neighborhood Council here to talk about what they've been doing. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back. You guys.